Well, hello again. Today, I want to share some good news about my book from the pest management giant, the Rollins Company. And today, I want to show you a short video clip of Ed Donahue. He's the VP of Sales at Rollins during a recent monthly commercial broadcast to the 17 brands of the Rollins Company. So in this, you'll also hear a comment from Victor Antonio, who's a very famous sales trainer, consultant, and author. So let's take a look.
Content. I thought about a couple things, and had some price conversations with some people lately that were, everybody. There are a few folks that I bumped into that kind of real hesitant on price, and then really what it came down to is I've had some experience out in the field and heard some people maybe say the wrong things, right?
Okay.
And it's just like so it brought me back to an old sales trainer I had when I started in the business, Doug Robinson, who he wrote this book, and we've shared this with some of you before. But I want to focus on one chapter, one subject of his called Weasel Words, and you've done a great thing on Weasel Words. But if there are two books that I recommend to people that sell this kind of business, that do what y'all do, it would be this. This was written by a guy who didn't know anything
great book.
other than anything but pest control sales.
Right.
That's all he ever did. That's all he ever taught.
This is from the industry. And what I like about that book, I told you this earlier, is that I love the way he weaves in. It's almost like old school anecdote story, but you can tell they're real. And then a great lesson in there. I recommend the book. I mean, it's a great book. It's for this industry.
There's the chapters are short. The stories are a couple 3 pages.
Yep.
You can pick this up, read 20 pages, and put it down and pick it back up.
It's also very casual writing.
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore. He's not trying to impress you with his, with his lexicon, wording, whatever. Yeah. It's just like, let me talk to you. Yeah. Here's how you do it.
He's an old school boy, and he wouldn't be offended by this. He's a good old boy from Albany, Georgia, that just figured this game out.
Yeah.
Wow. It's exciting to see the traction that the book has really received from Rollins. The last 6 months, there's been hundreds of copies of the book that's been ordered from just this company alone. So I'm really looking forward now to the interest that will come from the other 17 Rollins brands as they read about the 116 strategies that I've written about. The second endorsement that I'll show you is a post that Ed D. shared on LinkedIn that really brought a smile to my face. Here's what it says. It says, if you read this post and you don't pick up a copy of Doug Robinson's book, Sell is Not a Four-Letter Word, you're flat out crazy. It's second to none. Doug was incredibly influential in teaching this old dude how to sell the right way with integrity and professionalism and the understanding that great salespeople solve problems and build trust and not pressure people. A whole lot of what I've shared with sales teams over the years has roots in lessons that I learned from Doug. Worth every page. Wow, I'm glad my book has garnered so much attention and that my work is really helping so many salespeople experience more success. And finally, here's one last clip from Ed Donahue during a residential broadcast at Rollins. And once again, he's joined by Victor Antonio, who also comments about the book. Let's check that out.
And this we covered this a few times in our time of doing these things, right. And I like to call them weasel words, right? Like stuff that maybe you shouldn't say, or customers shouldn't say, or you should have awareness of what customers say. And I always lean into two books. I lean into Doug Robinson, who is an all-time retired sales trainer from Orkin. Guy probably taught me more about sales than anybody I ever bumped into. And I like it because it's short little chapters. This is a book that was written by a guy who did nothing but sell and teach people how to sell pest control related services. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like an expert.
I think everybody in this company should read that book.
Absolutely.
Everybody should read that book.
Absolutely. And what I'll do, first 5 or 6 people that give me a good note in the chat on why they want me to send them one, I will send them one.
So in closing today, you can pick up your copy of Sell is Not a Four-Letter Word from my website, RobinsonTrainingSolutions.com, or you can get it from Amazon or from Barnes & Nobles and probably some other places too. Have a great selling week.